So, the $1,000,000 question. Everyone tells you to read with your child. Everyone asks you to read with your child. But do you ever ask why? Why is reading to my child so important? I'm going to try to help you understand why based on the research and based on what we know about kids. So the single most important activity for later reading success is reading out loud to a child. When they looked at all of the different research, every single part of reading readiness, including the stuff we talked about, rhyming, phonological awareness, how do they know their letters, all of that, they're all important. But the most important thing is reading out loud to your child. When they look at hundreds of studies, that's what keeps coming up. So another study that I think you should know about is the number of books in your home matters. Another thing they look at in terms of what leads to the greatest educational success or the highest amount of education a child has later on, which we know has a lot to do with what their income will be and how they will thrive in life, is the number of books in the home. Across many different cultures, China and Canada and the United States, they looked at the number of books in the home. They looked at how those kids did when they were older. And believe it or not, the number of books in the home predicted educational success and how far a child would go in school more than income, more than the parents' level of education. So having lots of books in your home, adult books, children's books, is really important. What else about reading development? Did you know that kids who are read to and who read more have more empathy? They can put themselves in somebody else's shoes. It's called theory of mind. And why do you think that is? If you're reading about someone who went through the Holocaust or who was a victim of slavery, you don't actually have to experience it to feel those feelings and to feel that kinship and that bond with the character. So reading brings you into other people's worlds, and it helps you have a bigger heart towards what those people are experiencing. So it can make your kids more kind. That's probably one of the most important things about reading. Another thing is that kids who are read to more and who read more, they're better at math. And why is that? Kids who are read to and read more have more vocabulary, and later on in math, a lot of the word problems, they require them to understand and process. They also have more information, and information can help you solve problems. Believe it or not, people who read a lot live longer, even in areas where income levels are the same. So if you look at, say, a neighborhood where it's all low income, the people who read live longer and are healthier mentally and physically. And I think it's because reading kind of provides an outlet. It gives us some coping strategies, and it gives information to help better one's life. So there are so many reasons to read. When you read to your child, it increases their attention span and focus. It increases their confidence. It increases their vocabulary. And all of those things are hugely important for kindergarten readiness. Phonemic awareness, rhyming, breaking down words, rhythm of books helps kids hear the sounds in language, which will help them learn to read. And guess what? The most important reason to read is because it's fun. And it will develop a bond with you and your child. Even as your kids get older, if you read out loud to them, there are so many connections that you can make. And sometimes it helps with the tough stuff. There's a whole thing called Bibliotherapy where you can read about hard subjects like death or divorce or losing a job or sickness. And the kids feel more comfortable sometimes talking through a character and answering questions through a character than bringing it home to themselves. So reading is therapeutic in so many ways, and it will help your child be ready for kindergarten. Read, read, read.